Welcome, everyone, to the Pint and Click podcast. My name is Caleb.
And my name is Greg.
And we are going to talk about your favorite video games. So grab a pint of your favorite drink, find a nice, comfy chair, and join us for the Pint and Click Game Awards.
The Game Awards, the end of your extravaganza, as I've referred to it.
Oh, that's a much better name.
Hey.
It's too late. We've already gone with Game Awards.
We're going to get sued by the actual Game Awards if we aren't careful.
That is true. We'll call it the Pint and Click Game Award.
Oh, no. He's breaking down. Caleb, we're in person.
We're in person. It's weird.
It's weird.
I don't like it.
I don't like looking at you.
I don't like it.
I don't enjoy it.
I'd like to go home.
My favorite interaction with you is digital.
Yeah. Yeah, I prefer like over a nice PictoChat conversation on the DS.
Yeah, which you have to be close enough for that whatever that technology was to be in range.
Right.
But I still don't want to see you.
Right. Yeah, that's true. I like to be in like adjacent cars, but on like separate sides of the road, you know?
If we're within street pass distance, that's enough.
Yeah, there we go.
That's enough.
Yeah.
Caleb, last time we did an episode, I deleted it.
You did delete it. Let's talk about that.
We were doing a Starfield episode.
We were.
If you want to know our thoughts, watch just about any video about Starfield online and you'll have our thoughts, I feel like.
Yeah, we pretty much said the same stuff.
Yeah, like, it's funny
we brought nothing new to the table.
Well, I mean, yeah, of course, naturally, but also, like, it's just funny how that game was so hyped and then it was just, like, just a wet fart.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, on the plus side, though, it's got good bones. You know?
The bones are good.
The bones are good.
Well, yeah, it's got Skyrim's bones.
It's got Bethesda bones.
It's got Skyrim's bones. It's still that same game engine, I'm pretty sure.
Right.
They called it, like, the Creation Engine 2, but it's just Creation Engine with, like...
So really, it's old bones.
It's Creation Engine running on a new computer.
Yeah.
They got Creation Engine. They got new computers, and they called it Creation Engine 2.
Right. They're using Scratch children's programming for it.
Was that the one with the little dog?
I think it was a little cat.
Little cat. Yeah, same thing. What's the difference between a dog and a cat?
Yeah.
Dog haters, or haters, don't come at me in the comments if you're a dog.
If you're a dog?
If you're a dog, don't come at me for that remark.
Stay away.
Stay away.
Stay away.
Yeah. So anyway, we've been on a little bit of a hiatus.
Yep.
Times are wild.
Yo, yeah.
So
busy years.
Yeah.
Busy year.
Turns out, like, going to college, working full time, and making a podcast, not easy.
Not easy.
So I gave up and I ran crying to my mommy.
Yeah, we had a good personal health break, I think, you know?
Yeah. We
both had some stuff to sort out, and now we're back and stronger than ever, probably.
Which I don't think we're going weekly again, or bi-weekly even. We'll do this every once in a while when the mood strikes.
Yeah.
I've got the $5 Libsyn membership, so it'll keep the episodes online and let us throw one up when we want to.
Yeah.
I do want to point out we're watching Virtual Japan.
Oh, it's so good.
And there is a big Wonka ad right in the middle of Tokyo.
Is that what that was?
That was what that was.
Wow.
It was real nice.
Yep.
So look that up.
Yeah.
It's the
Virtual Japan
Christmas Tokyo Walk.
.tv. Sponsored. We're sponsored.
I wish.
I wish too.
I would die for any contact with this person.
I know, right? I just want to know who's behind the camera.
I just want to know.
Who's walking around with the giant ass camera helmet.
I want to know the setup too, because if it's not a helmet, they do something. They have some sort of technology so they keep it like incredibly well. My God. So they towering over the people in front of them right now.
This person is like 8 feet tall with a camera mounted on their head, just walking
towering
around.
over these. Oh, wait, no, they just dropped it down. Anyways, Caleb, we can't make this the Virtual Japan commentary episode.
I know.
As much as I'd like to.
That's next week.
Yeah, I think we should get together every week and just, that'll be the new
baseball announce of Virtual Japan.
I think we're onto something there.
Yeah. So
this episode was born out of...
wedlock.
Out of... I didn't expect that at all. This podcast, it was, I saw the nominations for the Game Awards, and I was like, I want to do that. I want to have my own official awards for video games for this year.
Yeah.
But I didn't want to do the Pint and Click awards. I didn't want to have us have to come to a consensus
Right.
for awards.
So we did our own.
So we did our own. So
Yeah.
I'm presenting the Greggies.
The Greggies.
Yes,
That's good.
Which I
Real
don't know
good.
if you came up with like an overarching name for your awards.
I did. My awards are actually called the Giuseppe Awards because it's like a Tony, but a little less important. So, so the Giuseppes.
The Christophers, if you're going with Sopranos. Not quite there to Tony, but he's like
Right.
in the fray.
He's in the mix. Yeah. Yeah.
So I think we'll kind of sprinkle our awards throughout,
Yeah.
and with some just some fun and some laughter along the way.
Greg, do you want to start us off with an award?
Caleb, I would.
You want to? Let's kick it off.
I really would.
Let's kick it off.
I'm gonna start it off with actually an award that is kind of not an award you want to win. Actually,
Okay.
This is the award for the worst job being a video game company.
Oh.
So
Okay.
I wanted to honor, or rather put shame to, a video game company that did something a little bit despicable this
And there's
year.
a lot of them this year.
There's a lot of them. So for this award, our nominees
Yeah.
are Bethesda for responding to poor Steam reviews on Starfield.
And just being dicks about it.
Just like the weirdest, like, try our game again. It's not that bad. Like, don't do that. Our next nominee is Activision Blizzard for somehow continuing to break through the floor of expectations for Call of Duty.
Oh, it'll always be that way.
Have you played the new Call of Duty?
I have not played it. I
No.
refuse to buy it.
Yeah.
I've heard too much bad stuff.
So I heard it was a real stinker.
Yeah.
Activision Blizzard for what they do? What else they do? Oh, for calling Overwatch 2, let's try that again. Activision Blizzard for calling an Overwatch patch Overwatch 2. You remember when they did that?
Yeah.
They released
Oh,
Overwatch
yeah.
2 and it was just like the same game but different.
I forgot all about that, but yep.
Yeah.
They did do that, huh?
Yeah. And our last nominee are all the huge companies for doing layoffs this year.
Mm.
And our winner is indeed all of the huge companies for doing layoffs.
A round of applause.
Stop laying off your employees when you're making a lot of money making video games.
Yeah,
They need to work.
they do.
So that's, I opened it up on a sour note.
Jumping right into it, but that's okay.
But
That's
it's
what
only
we
up
want.
from here.
That's what?
It's only up from here.
Yeah, only up.
Only,
yeah.
only gets more celebratory from here.
That's good. That's good.
Yeah. So, Caleb,
Yeah.
how do you feel about crowning the first Giuseppe?
You want me to crown a Giuseppe?
I would like
you
you
want
to.
me to pass on
really
Giuseppe? All right. Let's bring out our guests. So
Keanu Reeves.
oh my God, that's our dream guest for the.
I would love to have
pod.
him in the middle of this couch right now.
Oh my God, the middle of the couch.
Uh-huh.
Oh my goodness. Okay, so Greg, when a new game is announced, everyone's first thoughts are, how good will it be? Will it be released in a finished state? Will there be sweet waifus? But deep down, there's one question every gamer asks, a question most gamers are afraid to talk about. This award is meant to shatter that barrier. Speak it proudly, Greg. Will this game have a hunky male protagonist? Let's see those nominees for the hunkiest game protagonist. Nominees:
Yes, please.
Cal Kestis, Jedi Survivor. You can give him a mullet and a big old handlebar mustache.
Okay.
That's hunky.
Well,
Leon Kennedy from the Resident Evil 4 remaster.
Yep.
They only made him hunkier.
Mm-hmm.
Gale from Baldur's Gate 3. That's a hunky wizard.
Yep.
And this one's not even fair. I can't even believe that they allowed this to be put on here. Blue Toad, Super Mario Bros. Wonder.
Hold on.
They can't put him on the list. I don't know why they did. But Craig, it's time to announce our winner. It's Blue Toad.
Oh, no.
It's Blue Toad, the hunkiest game protagonist. It's Blue Toad.
Caleb, I feel
He
like
gets
you've revealed something about yourself here.
Hey, this was taken to a team of
Oh,
this was a council of
the
30
public
members.
voted on this.
We had big votes. Blue Toad just won. It was a landslide.
The Supreme Court actually voted on this.
We had Judge Judy herself decide. She said Blue Toad.
So man, I can't argue. When you're right, you're right.
When I'm right, and that's the thing, you know.
Mm-hmm.
And Blue Toad he carries it.
Congratulations, Blue Toad.
Congratulations, Blue Toad.
Yeah.
Round of applause.
Yep, absolutely.
Round of applause.
I got to tell you, I've really been loving Super Mario Wonder.
Have you?
Gabrielle and I have been playing it.
Yep.
And we played a little bit actually before you came over today to record this episode. Great game. Really, they took like what Mario was in 2D form.
Yeah.
And just were like, let's just make it silly and fun.
Yeah.
And they knocked it out of the park.
Yeah, it's definitely on my list to get at some point.
For sure.
Yeah.
It's like just the like concepts that because they just like interstitch little parts of levels. I said levels. Little parts of levels that are just so interesting and are just like if you continued them longer than they do, it would like play out really quick and be really annoying, I feel like.
Right.
But the little pieces of levels that are just doing these really interesting things are just a lot of fun.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll have to pick that up.
Now that we've given out our first round of awards,
Yeah.
I wanted to ask you, Caleb.
Okay.
What are you looking forward to in 2024 for games?
You know, there's not a lot that I know for sure is coming out in 2024. I think the big thing for me is just seeing what gets announced and what does end up coming out, and really just taking my time. I feel like this year so much stuff came out so fast that like I still haven't gone through everything.
Yeah.
So I've got a little bit of a backlog of games. Like I really need to as much as it wasn't my favorite necessarily, I still really want to beat Tears of the Kingdom and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And stuff like that. There's the Like a Dragon that came out this year, which I love it. It's just a slow burning game for me. I got to play it at specific times.
Now that's Ishin.
But, yeah.
Yeah. Because also the man who forgot or who erased his name also came out.
That's true. That did. Yep.
And that I played a little bit of that one, started it, and then kind of was like, I don't think I need to. I'm really an Ichiban boy.
Yeah. 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 I need to play some more of those games.
That was actually my question below this was, do you think that 2024 will actually be like a year to catch up after this year in a way? Like,
gotcha.
Like, I feel like there was so much stuff that came out that like, it would almost be nice for us, not for the companies that need the money to make the games, but for us to have like a catch up year almost after this year.
Yeah, pretty much. So much stuff came out, and like I tried to stay on top of buying the games that I wanted to play, but then I'd get so carried away with playing the ones I already had and stuff like that. It's been a busy year, but I do think, for myself at least, I do think this will be at least the beginning portion of the year will definitely be a big catch up period for me.
Yeah, I looked up an article from GameSpot about like potential next year games, because it doesn't seem like much that's confirmed that I'm super excited for.
Yeah.
But a couple of potential ones that could come out are Avowed, which is Obsidian's fantasy game.
Yep.
That's been on my radar for a while now. I've been hoping that will release and I can get hyped about that.
Yeah.
Hades 2 potentially comes out in like an open beta next year.
That's awesome.
Which you can see if you were
yeah.
on my wall. I've got a Hades poster. That was a huge game that I really liked. Which actually the God of War Valhalla or Ragnarok Valhalla, the free DLC that they released, is just like it's just a ode to Hades basically.
That's
so
cool.
It's like a Hades or like a roguelike in God of War. I haven't gotten a lot of chance to play it yet. I'm really excited to sit down and just jam with that because like I loved Hades. I loved God of War Valhalla or Ragnarok. I keep trying to say it the other way.
Yeah.
So the combination of the two, I think, is really going to be a fun loop to play.
No, I also think it is fun that we're doing an episode about games right now when we also haven't had a lot of chances to play games because we also got hit with a massive storm a little bit ago.
Dude, no kidding. Earlier this week was wild.
Yeah.
It's almost hard to believe it was just it feels like almost longer ago to me at least. I don't know about you.
It's been a long week.
Because for me, like I told you, I barely felt the effects of the flooding and all that because
Right.
like I had power everywhere I went. A little bit of flooding on the roads on my drive home from work. So for me, it was almost just like, this is just kind of a weird heavy rain day. But
Right.
like you were in the thick of it.
Yeah, we lost a bridge close to where I live.
Mm-hmm.
It was pretty crazy, but luckily my house is good.
Yeah.
I'm on a hill.
Have they have they gotten the water off, first of all? The water that was shooting.
Oh yeah, yeah.
They
Also,
solved
yeah.
that problem.
So they had water pipes under the bridge that ruptured when the bridge got kind of fuckled. So
It's so funny because like I was telling Gabby, like I think of that bridge. I'm like, there's no way that bridge gets washed out during a flood because it's so far off the water there.
oh yeah,
But like it was just everything running off from the like center of town, kind of going down to that.
yeah.
That it must have just. But like it's just so funny that like the tallest bridge in the county got washed
yeah.
out.
So here's a fun fact for you, Greg. When they had to shut off the town water to fix that problem, right?
Mm-hmm.
My house was just before the line of
No
where they
kidding.
shut it off. So I still had water.
That's good.
I never lost it, which was good. But
Yeah.
yeah, massive storm. So I can't speak for you, but I know I haven't had a lot of time to play games.
I have actually played a fair amount recently.
Oh,
I've had 2 games that have been on my docket.
Yeah,
I've been playing a lot of Dredge.
a lot of dredge.
I've been really enjoying Dredge. That gameplay loop is just like, if I've thought about it and if I were to describe it, I would say it's more than the sum of its parts.
okay.
Like the parts of it are just whatever, but added together, that whole experience is just a really good time. Going
Yeah.
around swimming, selling, or fishing, and then selling your fish, getting pieces for your upgrades and all that. It's just a great gameplay loop.
Yeah, I do have it. I just haven't played it yet. I need to. That is on my list of games that I want to play soon.
So fun.
Yeah.
And it's easy to get into.
Yeah.
It's fine if you jump out for a little bit. It'll be right there coming. Like, it's not a hard game to pick back up.
Is there a lot of text-based story to it? Okay, that's interesting. I wasn't
Nope,
sure.
not at all. It gives you a little bit of dialogue as it's setting the scene
Yep.
and kind of getting you into it. But after that, it is just like go catch fish, go
And then
swim.
it's mostly just environmental stuff and
It's some environmental. They will, if you go to, there are islands that you can kind of get to.
Oh, interesting.
And like there'll be quests and stuff that people will pop up to do a little dialogue to kind of just say like, oh, my son's lost at sea. I just want to know where he is. I feel like he's dead. And then you catch his
Feel
ring.
like he's dead.
Well, he's lost at sea. What do you expect?
Yeah.
So you like find his wristwatch out at sea. You
Yeah.
catch his wristwatch and bring it back, and they're like, oh, thank you for finding that. So I just have the peace of mind.
Yeah.
But like, it's not heavy. It's not text heavy, which is a
Interesting.
huge, like for me, a huge selling point.
Yeah.
And the other game I've been playing a little bit more so the past couple of nights.
Yeah.
Over the Christmas, I have a good 5 days off here. Just a nice little chunk of time to be off. And I wanted something that was nostalgic to play. Kind of something that felt like I was just a kid again, playing games like I played when I was a kid.
Oh, yeah.
I went for a Pokemon game. I was like, maybe that's like very much what I would have played. But I wasn't really feeling that. And where I landed was Dragon Quest V on the Nintendo DS.
Yeah.
I got it allegedly on my Steam Deck. Who knows how? It showed up one day.
Yeah.
And I've been playing that, and it's so fun because it's like something new to me.
Yeah.
But it feels very much like something like a Pokemon game I would have played when I was a kid.
Dragon's Quest, they all have artwork from Akira Toriyama, don't
Correct.
they?
And that's the other reason I've wanted to play a Dragon's Quest game for a while.
Yeah.
And Dragon's Quest V is the perfect so far I've found. It's a really good combination of that kind of, it feels enough like a Pokemon game I would have played on the DS.
Right.
And it's got that artwork. It's new enough because a couple of the early Dragon Quests I've tried and they just really feel a little too old for me to go back to and really enjoy.
Right. Yep.
But then like it's not so modern that like in some ways I feel like JRPGs when they they're almost in their peak when they don't have all of the like modern resources.
Yeah, I completely agree.
Because like Dragon's Quest 11 goes way too heavy on dialogue and text, and
Yep.
it's the world is too big in my opinion that it's boring in a lot of places, I feel.
Yeah, absolutely.
So Dragon's Quest 5 hits like a perfect spot where it's new enough to be fun, but not so new that it's almost hindered by them trying to push the medium forward.
Right.
And I've really been enjoying just kind of bumming around in that and playing that. So those have been the two I've really had some good time in lately.
Yeah. It sounds pretty good. I need to play a Dragon Quest game. I started one, but it was one of the newer ones, and I completely agree with your points. I think it was too new for me, and I didn't like it. It loses because I feel like part of the charm of especially turn-based games like that, I feel like part of the charm is the retro feelings they give and stuff. And it's hard to get that when you're playing like I don't know. Yeah, when I'm using a PS5 controller and I've got, too good graphics for it and stuff. It's just weird.
Yeah, I recommend Dragon's Quest 5. It's a fun little time.
Yeah.
Speaking of the PS5 controller,
Yeah.
I got one.
Nice.
And for my Steam Deck for if I want to have it like set up to my TV.
Right.
And I was playing Dredge with it.
Hmm.
And just the weight in the triggers and like that controller's so good.
Yeah.
It's like unreal how much it laps the Xbox controller.
You think so?
I do.
Interesting. Yep.
Feature-wise, definitely.
Yeah.
The Xbox controller is a perfectly good controller.
Yeah.
It works perfectly fine. It does exactly what you need it to do. It's comfortable, all that.
Yep.
Features, like interesting features-wise, that PS5 DualSense controller just sweeps the floor with it.
That's interesting. I haven't talked to a lot of mainly Xbox users about it to hear what they think, but I think even from a PlayStation standpoint, I think the PS5 controller is a massive improvement from the PS4 controller. It's night and day how crazy the difference is,
And like again, PS4 controller, pretty well serviceable.
Yeah, that was a good controller.
But
But the PS5 controller, it's got the bigger sides to it, so it's more comfortable to hold, and I don't feel like
well, they did kind of not adapt the Xbox shape, but they got a lot closer to the Xbox controller shape.
Oh yeah.
And I think that's where Xbox has always been better than PlayStation and
Oh
controllers.
yeah.
Is
They
like,
haven't really had to change it. They've
Yeah,
had
I mean,
that shape forever, and it's comfortable.
Yeah, we're looking at like the two of them right side, the PS4 and the PS5 right side by side, or the PS4 and the Xbox side by side right now, and like the Xbox controller is just shaped right. It's ergonomically better, but
I need to get an Xbox controller. I would like one for my PC because it's just easier to look at. Everything's mapped for Xbox anyways on PC. So
Get a search like eBay for like an open box or something. You can get it pretty cheap, I think.
yeah, I should.
Caleb, you want to give another Giuseppe?
I'll hand out a Giuseppe.
Thank you.
So, Greg, every now and then, a game comes out and introduces us to a new character. A small friend, perhaps. Somebody who helps the player. A silly little guy, if you will. This award highlights the best helpers in games. The ones we all love, and just the games that show just how silly one of these little guys can be. This is the Silliest Little Guy Award. Let's take a look at our nominees, Greg. The Koroks from Tears of the Kingdom. The Niffler from Hogwarts Legacy. And BD1 from Jedi Survivor. This was a tough one. This was a tough one to pick. I sat with the council, and all of these guys are great little guys.
Great.
They're all great little guys. But there's only one little guy that makes me feel happy every time I see him. Or her, perhaps.
Oh, wow.
That's a Korok. That's a Korok. Every time I see one of those little guys, every time I hear that little yahaha, it gets me.
Yeah, and I think that also is because it comes with a little bit of a sense of achievement normally.
It does.
Yeah.
It does.
Yeah.
Every time you see one of those little guys, you know you did something right.
You did it.
Did something right.
Yep.
The winner for that category is the Korok.
That's a
Silly
solid
guy.
pick.
Yeah. They're a silly little guy.
That is, yeah. I think now that you say it, if I were to have to make a dictionary entry for a silly little guy,
Probably be a Korok.
I think a Korok would go
Especially in Tears of the Kingdom where they got the backpacks and they fall over. And then you got to
You
help
gotta-
them out.
You
Those
gotta
are
blast them to the moon.
Those are silly little guys.
Those
They
are
can't even
silly
walk
little
right.
Guys. Pack less stuff.
I know, yeah.
That's all you have to do.
You don't need all those potatoes.
No.
I'm assuming that's what they're carrying. Who knows?
Well, that is a great question. I feel like if we could interview someone involved with Tears of the Kingdom,
Yeah.
we'd have to. We would be obligated to ask him what's in the
What's in the
backpack?
bag? What's in
yeah.
the bag?
Please tell us what's in the backpack.
Is it more silly little guys?
Oh my God! What if?
Oh man.
What if?
Just a bunch of them. Greg, give me a Greggy.
All right, I
Throw
would
me
love
a
to.
Greggy.
I would love to. So, you know what I'm gonna go with right now?
Yeah.
I want to crown the video game in this award that is my favorite game that Caleb played this year.
Oh. Oh. What a silly little guy I'm sitting next to. Okay.
So a couple of weeks ago, I asked you for a list of just like, what'd you play this year?
Yeah.
Didn't have to be games that came out this year. It didn't have to be, anything. I just wanted to know, like, what'd you put some decent amount of time into? You didn't have to finish it. I just wanted to, I was like, what did you play this year?
Yeah.
And I took that list, and maybe I might have whittled a few off just for, I can't be nominating everyone.
Yeah. Yeah.
We gotta be keeping the awards prestigious.
Oh yeah.
So the nominees for my favorite video game that Caleb played
This is
year
interesting because I don't even remember. So here we go.
are Fallout 4,
Oh, I did play a lot of that.
The Sims 4, Skyrim, a little game. I don't know if you've ever heard of it.
Good bones.
Good bones, great bones. The flesh on that one's good too.
Yeah, it's meaty.
Meaty. That's a meaty game. Red Dead Redemption 2, Hogwarts Legacy,
Yeah.
Baldur's Gate 3, Cyberpunk 2077,
Classic. Yep.
and Jedi Survivor, Star Wars Jedi Survivor.
Yeah.
So, the winner for my favorite game that Caleb played this year
Right.
would be Red Dead Redemption 2.
Red Dead 2.
How do you beat that video game? How do you beat that video game?
You don't.
You don't.
You cry.
It's an incredible game.
Yeah.
Honestly, in the time since I've prepared these, Cyberpunk could have given it a run for its money.
Cyberpunk had one of the best improvements I've ever seen in an entire game.
Yeah.
I've never seen an update put so much into a game before.
I've put some fair time into that game the past month and a half.
Yep.
I recently kind of had to stop because the 2.1 update, or it might just be Phantom Liberty, I'm not quite sure. I got to Dogtown and it started running like garbage.
It's got some bugs for sure.
I mean, naturally, but like it
Yeah.
was. I mean, and I think that's just the Steam Deck. Steam Deck
Oh,
can only
really?
do so much.
That's true.
So
Yeah.
I was able to figure out though. I did a little bit of research and was able to tinker with the graphical settings and got it so it's mostly smooth. And
Yeah.
I think once it'll be interesting to see once I get out of this because I'm kind of in that first Phantom Liberty quest right now. It'll be interesting once I get into the open world of Dogtown.
Yeah.
If it stays kind of running or whatnot. So I'm excited to get back into that. I did a lot of the like just side stuff in Cyberpunk, just messing around because I played the main game.
Right.
I will say that if you want to talk about where that game's improved and where it hasn't improved in the main storyline.
Oh no.
It's sit, talk, go somewhere, sit, talk, go somewhere, shoot, talk.
Yeah. The main storyline is always going to be the weakest part of the game for
Yeah.
me. And it does what I would consider one of the biggest sins an open world game can do, which is give you a predetermined fate.
Right.
When you do that, it limits it knocks out all sense, like it's a role-playing game, right? But they're telling you what role to play.
Right.
You're not being allowed to choose a role. I don't want to be a dying person
No.
for half the game.
Oh, how fun. How
Yeah,
fun.
Exactly. I want to be well, and also like they give you these 3 different roles, right? So like street kid, nomad, or corpo, right?
Mm-hmm.
And in theory, that should let you play the person you want to play.
Right.
But you still can't, because no matter what, you're always locked into the same choices in the beginning.
Mm-hmm.
No matter what, you're always gonna get a little icky, a little sick.
Get a little icky.
And
Get a little John.
and
Wait, Johnny Silverhand. Yeah.
John, yeah. And I don't know I don't know why they did that, because that game is especially is a game that allows for so much potential of creating your own thing. Like if they went more of the Skyrim route and didn't do voice acting, I mean the voice acting's whatever, but if you knock out voice acting and then you knock out all of the predetermined stuff, you've got a perfect game to go make a character of your design.
Right.
And but that's the problem. When I play the game, I don't feel like I'm playing my character. I feel like I'm playing V, because you are.
Right. You almost fall into the same trap they almost fell in the same trap as Fallout 4.
Yeah. Even Fallout 4 has a bad case of that. But I think the one saving thing for me with Fallout 4 is dialogue choices, at least.
Right.
Where it does lock you into, this is your character's story, but you can ignore it enough and pick other dialogue options enough that you can still kind of morph your character into what you want.
Right.
Albeit it's not perfect.
Yeah.
It's never going to be as good as 3 or New Vegas.
Yeah, New Vegas especially.
But
yeah, I think I'm excited to get into Phantom Liberty because I've heard good things.
oh yeah, the DLC's cool.
I mean, how do you not like Idris Elba? I mean, the actor.
He's in that?
Yeah.
What? I didn't know that.
Have you? Okay. Wow.
What? Okay.
You gotta go play it again now. Yeah.
Well, I didn't get very far in it.
Yeah.
I beat the beginning of the DLC, and I got to like the first part where they let you free roam,
Mm-hmm.
and I started a whole new game to do it.
Yeah.
And so I was at a point where I was like, well, I'm still kind of weak and I don't want to get creamed in this DLC. So I decided to go back off and do some more side stuff.
Yeah, for sure.
But
That's the one thing that's good is I did want to do so much side stuff beforehand anyway that I feel like I'm coming in at a good level.
right. Yeah.
But man, I had to grind to get to the point where you can start Phantom Liberty.
Yeah.
And it was just like, oh my gosh.
Greg, did you hear that in the new update? The newest one that they're doing, or maybe have already done, I'm not up to date, but on the newest update, they're allowing you to hang out with the people that you did quests with, which begs the question, can you take them bowling?
Okay. Oh my gosh.
Will they call me and ask me,
V,
it's your cousin.
it's your cousin.
Let's go bowling.
Oh my god. GTA
Yeah.
4, what a time.
What a time.
Bad driving.
Bad driving?
Awful
Yeah.
driving.
I haven't played it recently. I'm sure it is.
It was bad when I played it back in like 2012.
That's fair. You know what, though? As bad as it is, it still has so many things I would have liked to see GTA 5 had, and I didn't even know it. But like going back, if you ever watch comparison videos between 4 and 5, it's kind of nuts. 4 was really realistic.
Yeah. Now, do you have any hope that they'll bring them back in GTA 6?
The mechanics or cousin Roman?
Nico Bellic. No, mechanics. I really just wedged that question in so I could put the GTA 6 in for the SEO.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. I honestly, I feel like it's too early to know anything.
It's. I mean, 2025.
Mm.
It's. That's a long time.
I'm scared to even like speculate on anything because the trailers are so like, I don't know. You can show a trailer a million times, but we all know how like the Cyberpunk trailers worked. So regardless of what they're showing, like, can I honestly not to sit here and pick apart the trailer, but one of the things I noticed was they showed that shot of the really full beach, and everybody's been comparing it to Vice City's beach, where there's like 3 NPCs on it, or GTA 5's beach, and like, I think the thing to remember is that's not gameplay, it's a trailer still.
Right.
So it can show a huge packed beach, but are we actually going to get given that? That's the thing. But
Now, Caleb, does it get delayed?
oh, most definitely. Everything's getting delayed. Everything's getting delayed lately.
Makes you wonder. I mean, what? Red Dead was 2018 or 2017? Regardless,
Yeah.
at least 5 years ago.
Oh, yeah.
They've given themselves 2 more years, so that would be theoretically 7 years for that team to be working on that game. I don't know.
The one thing I do really hope, though, is that they bring some of the things from Red Dead to this new game. which I understand it's 2 separate games,
Horses.
and they yeah, give me a stable.
Mm-hmm.
No, I understand it's 2 separate games, and they probably want to keep things separate, but
Right.
there's so many mechanics. Like I don't necessarily need the interact with everybody mechanic, but also like, would it be such a bad thing if the new GTA had that? Make it feel alive when you
For
play it.
sure. And that's the biggest thing they sell with those games.
Yeah.
They sell you feeling like you're in a lived-in, like GTA 5 was meant to be like you're in Los Angeles.
And it feels like it when you're
does,
going
too.
around.
So, like, I think if you want to talk about mechanics that they should bring over, at least very heavy interactions, like a lot of interaction in that game.
Yep.
Because, like, that's the one thing about GTA that's, like, it still very much feels like you're playing in a set almost, not in a world.
Yeah.
So I think they should bring that over.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. Now, Caleb.
Yeah.
Special episode.
Special episode.
So I had to bring the refreshment roundup to the table.
I'm glad you did. Glad you did.
This is I got a couple of Sam Adams drinks this time around. I actually got 2 of them because I was worried that you were going to do a refreshment roundup as well. So I wanted to have a second drink in case you stole my thunder.
Yeah.
So the first drink I got was the Sam Adams Winter Lager. This lager is what I imagine if you told me that someone was handing me a beer.
Yeah.
It was a little bit like a little bit beery.
Yep.
Not good.
Oh.
I didn't. If you told me, because when I was a kid, especially,
Oh,
if someone was like, "Here's a beer," I'm like, "This is gonna be skunky. This is gonna smell weird.
Yep.
It's gonna taste weird."
Okay.
That was what this winter lager was.
That's interesting. Now, Greg, I'm not gonna lie to you. I'm a fan of Sam Adams. You've
Me
offended me
too.
deeply.
I am as well,
Oh,
which is why
okay.
I'm so upset with this winter lager.
Yeah, actually, I don't know if I've had anything other than just a normal Sam Adams.
Yeah.
I don't think I've had anything else.
Himself.
So. Himself.
Sam
yeah.
himself.
Sam. Yeah.
There were
His
some.
tootsies.
There were some subtle notes of beer, and just Caleb, get back
Yeah.
on track.
We're here. We're here. We're
Okay,
good.
all right,
We're
all
good.
right, all right. There were some subtle hints of beer and disappointment, but the kind of disappointment that isn't like a big deal. You know, it's just a minor letdown.
Yeah.
So I want you to remember, Caleb. It's
Yeah.
been a while.
Yeah.
It's been a little while.
Yeah.
The scale for the refreshment roundup:
Okay.
1 to 100.
Yeah.
No decimals.
None.
So with that in mind, I would give the Samuel Adams Winter Lager
20.5.
a 49.
49. That's good. That's
49.
good. It could be worse.
just a
Could
little
be
below
worse.
average.
Yeah, that could be worse. Yeah.
Now, Caleb,
Yeah.
I believe you have a question for me.
Greg, if you were going to,
Mm-hmm.
what kind of game would you pair this with?
This is tricky, Caleb. I'm glad you
Okay.
asked because
Okay.
I didn't think about this at all beforehand. I didn't have this written down. I think it could go 2 ways.
Okay.
And I initially thought that I'd pair this beer with a game that was so like bog standard disappointing. So say it with me now. Starfield.
Yeah, okay, yeah.
But then I got to thinking about it a little more. I've kind of changed my tune. I think I actually want to pair this beer with a game that is so amazing that you don't want the beer you're drinking to take away from the experience.
I like that. That's good.
You don't want a beer competing with how incredible the video game experience you're having is.
And what is this game?
So I would pair Samuel Adams Winter Lager with God of War Ragnarok.
That's a good pairing. And you know what? I'm pretty sure it's been a while since I've looked at the game. I'm pretty sure that's a snowy game, isn't it?
Caleb, you're seeing all the connections.
my
It
God,
is a
I'm
snowy
seeing 'em.
game.
I'm seeing them.
So that is what I go with. That was intended as well. Yes.
Yeah.
Luckily for us, Caleb.
Yeah.
As I said, there are 2 beers I tried. We've got a
Oh,
49. This other beer.
Yeah.
Is the Samuel Adams Holiday White Ale. Now this is a holiday themed beer. It is a white ale, much like an Allagash White, which for those of you who may not know is one of my favorite beers.
yeah, one of mine as well.
Yep. This beer, Caleb, this one did the trick.
That's good.
It
Good.
It was citrusy. It was aromatic, light to the taste.
Yeah.
This is what I was looking for in a beer. This is what I wanted.
That's good.
I highly recommend this beverage to everyone listening of age 21 or more. Yourself, Caleb, I think you would enjoy this beer.
I'll have to try it.
And if I had to rank this beer on the scale, I do believe that I have to give the Samuel Adams Holiday White Ale an 87.
87. You're putting it up there. Giving it a toss around.
It's good. It was a good beer.
That's good. I'm glad you enjoyed it, Greg.
Mm-hmm.
Greg, if you had to pair that with a game, what do you think you'd pair that one with?
This Holiday White Ale, Caleb, I believe.
Tetris.
I believe it deserves the respect of being paired with a video game that is similarly laid back, effortlessly enjoyable, if you will. So in saying that, I would pair this beer with Shadow of the Colossus.
Oh, that's a good pick. That's a good pick.
You go roaming around a little bit, you're just kind of hanging out, and then you go find your big beastie guy.
Yep.
And you fight him.
Yep. And you take a nice sip of a white while you're at it.
Sip of a Holiday White Ale.
Yeah.
What did you say?
What?
A what?
A white, as in a white ale?
Okay.
What do you
finish that?
Okay. Hang on a minute.
Let's
backtrack. Let's backtrack.
Oh, Caleb, let's get out of this. And
let's get out of that.
Please.
Now, so, Greg, I was just going to say, though, if I had to pair a Sam Adams drink with a game, I think the best pairing you could do for me personally would be to play Assassin's Creed 3.
Yep. That makes sense.
So I can see the man and tell him personally how much I enjoy his drink.
Yep, I like that.
Yep.
That's quite, I think there should be an interaction option where if you're drinking a Sam Adams beer, you can press the right, up, down, left, right.
Yeah, you're in the Animus anyways.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So technically, yeah.
Now, Caleb, can I present another Greggy?
I would be honored if you would.
Thank you so much. What I want to present now is the award for the video game soundtrack of the year.
Of course.
I didn't play all of these games, but I did go out of my way to track down some soundtracks that people were saying were just like top notch.
See, that's the beauty of a soundtrack. You don't have to play the game to hear it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So the nominees for video game soundtrack of the year, we have Final Fantasy 16, Octopath Traveler 2, Hi-Fi Rush. I meant to look up the pronunciation of this game beforehand, but is it Chia? TCHIA.
Like a pet.
Yeah, it might be.
Yeah.
Oxenfree 2, Lost Signals, and Sea of Stars. So, the winner for video game soundtrack of the year, Octopath Traveler 2.
Interesting.
If you listen to any of that music,
I haven't.
Highly recommend.
I'll put it on my my playlist.
It slaps. It's real good music.
It's good. Can I tell you? So, and I'm gonna say this, and I shouldn't be saying this. I know I shouldn't be saying this because I know I'm gonna get blasted for this.
Yep.
I don't think Undertale is that good of a game, but I do think it does have a slapping soundtrack.
Yeah, I mean he's gone on to do work with like Minecraft, and Toby Fox is doing stuff with like a bunch of people in video games.
Yeah, I did not play it personally, but I watched an entire playthrough of Undertale. It just wasn't for me. I think
right, I agree.
I think a lot of the messages were a little lost on me. But for the most part, good game and everything, but the soundtrack's pretty good. I like that soundtrack a lot.
Yep, I agree. Great YouTube game. YouTube game, yeah. The YouTube community. That game was meant for like the YouTube community.
Absolutely.
So Caleb,
I'm very excited to present this award, Greg.
I would like to have you do that right now.
Well, Greg, oh my God, I wrote this. It's making me laugh so much. Greg, whether you're sucking down a fat one or sucking down
come on,
whether you're sucking down a fat one or sucking down a skinny one, sucking down an Italian one or just a pure American one, whether it's over 5 inches or just below, we can all appreciate a good glizzy. This award is to honor someone who we believe can slurp down the most glizzies, both in one sitting, but also in one bite.
What is wrong with you?
Here are our nominees for the Glizzy Gladiator Award.
I need you to get out of my apartment right
now. Nominees: Kirby, Return to Dreamland.
Yep.
Luigi, Mario Bros. Wonder.
Wait, why?
Ganondorf, Tears of the Kingdom.
Why? Why are you doing this?
And the Glizzy Gladiator Award. There's no contest. It goes to Kirby.
Yeah, of course.
Goes to Kirby.
I
That's
feel
a
like
mouth made for gobbling glizzies.
no,
You
no.
all know it.
No.
Luigi was a close second. I just got that
No.
feeling from him, you know?
Get out of here.
That was all written down. I wrote down all of that.
Come on. Caleb's dead.
Oh.
I'm going to have to carry this show for the next 2 minutes while Caleb dies from his own joke.
So good.
Oh, my God.
I tell you what, when we were coming up with these awards, I wanted to think, like, what's an award that you would never, ever hear somebody say at a game show? Glizzy Gladiator just kind of stuck with me.
Oh, my God.
So,
Caleb,
yeah.
you're the hot dog guy.
I got that dog in me, you know? And it's a grilled Frank.
Oh, man, I need a moment to recover after that. I feel dirty. I'm going to need a shower.
Oh, my God.
Wow.
Yeah. Greg, give us an award. Take us out of this.
Well, Caleb, actually, you know what I'm going to do?
Yeah.
You know what is a staple of award shows in my mind?
Huh.
Is
The Super Bowl ads.
in memoriam of for, like, you know, people who've died in the past year.
Oh, yeah.
But I don't want to be, you know, I don't want to do any in memoriam. That's too dark.
Mm-hmm.
So what I want to do instead is an in memoriam for video game characters who will never get a sequel.
Ooh, yeah.
So, yeah, we want to honor those that were part of games that we may have loved, who may have been well-acclaimed games as well. But just for some reason, they'll never see their sequel.
Mm-hmm.
We're going to start off with a personal favorite of mine, the create a character from Sunset Overdrive.
Oh, yeah.
That game, I want to replay it. That's like one of my first games I want to play next year is replay Sunset Overdrive because I love it so much.
Yeah.
But that game will never get a sequel because Insomniac was bought by PlayStation and it was an Xbox game.
Oh,
So
yeah.
I'll cry.
Yep.
Next up on the list is another favorite of mine who will never get a sequel, but for different reasons.
Okay.
Cole Phelps.
Oh, that one brings a tear to my eye.
L.A. Noire.
That one brings a tear to my eye.
I mean, really, for all the reasons Cole Phelps isn't getting a sequel.
Yeah.
I
I don't understand it, though. They had a title and everything, and
and that the studio just like vanished into thin air.
yeah.
seems
What was it?
like.
Horror of the Orient?
Yeah, you said it, not me.
No, that's
I'm
the
kidding.
game.
I'm kidding. I'm kidding. Next up on our list is The Spirit Monk from Jade Empire. Not a game I personally played, but it's very highly acclaimed.
I don't know it.
Yeah, it's I think it was an original Xbox game.
Interesting.
The next one I think will hit a spot in both of our hearts.
I'm ready.
Wei Shen from Sleeping Dogs.
What I would give for a Sleeping Dogs too.
You played that game, right?
I loved it.
Incredible game.
Great game.
So good.
The gunplay, little meh.
Yeah,
But
of course.
the hand to hand
Yeah,
is
so good.
so good.
Next up, Gollum.
Well,
I don't think
is that a
Gollum's-
sad one though?
No.
I don't think we want that to have a sequel.
Oh my god, this next one. I don't know why I even signed myself up to say this one.
Okay.
Sergei Alexeyevich
Oh.
Nanchev from Atomic Hearts.
Oh, yeah.
That game shouldn't get a sequel.
No, I can't even play it.
Bad time.
Bad time. I tried to play that recently. I got a little further than last time, and it just felt bad. So,
Yeah.
yeah.
Last on our list,
Mm-hmm.
Frey Holland from Forspoken. Shouldn't get a sequel.
No. No. Shouldn't have been a game.
Shouldn't have been a game.
Shouldn't have been a game.
Shouldn't have shipped the way it was, at least. Needed a lot. Needed a lot
of rewriting.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But anyway, that was our in memoriam.
I like it. I'm
So,
glad we took the time to mention.
Yeah, we're like an official game show or a game award show now.
That's true. Yeah.
And with that, Caleb,
Yeah.
I would be honored if I could give you another award.
Please do.
Another Greggy.
Please do.
This award is actually for the best episode of the Pint and Click podcast.
Oh my God, we don't have one.
They're all so bad.
They're all garbage.
All awful. Of course, every episode is going to be in the running.
Yep.
Because every episode was recorded in 2023.
That's true. Yeah.
And the winner, in my opinion, for the Greggy, is episode 20, Killer Frequency, Pray for the Gods, and Concurrent Player Records.
I also like that one.
That one was good. We did the Family Feud. I think it was where we introduced the Family Feud style bit.
Yeah.
And we ran with that for a little bit, and that was fun.
Yep. I do like it.
Killer Frequency was the one you brought to the table. Pray for the Gods was mine.
Love it. Yep. Yeah.
I
both
think
good games. Yeah.
Both good games. Good episode.
Yep. I didn't even know Pray for the Gods is on PlayStation.
I didn't know that either.
I didn't know that. I was gonna pick it up on PC, but I think I might be picking it up on PlayStation sometime. Just give it a go.
Yeah, it's
fun. It's on sale or something. I'll dive in.
Yeah, for sure. It's a Shadow of the Colossus-esque kind of game.
Yeah.
So yeah, I did get stuck in the middle and kind of put it down. There was one part where it was like being a real pain. I was like, a little janky. I think my time with this has come to an end for now.
Yeah.
Now, Caleb, I don't know how many awards you've got left. You got a couple more for us?
Yeah, I've got plenty.
All right.
I made sure to have more awards than needed. So.
Okay, because personally, I've got 4.
There you go. I have, let me see how many I have. Yeah, I've got a lot, so don't worry about it.
Perfect.
Okay, let me pull up a, let's go to this one. This one seems fun. I want to do this one.
Yes, absolutely.
Because we were just talking about, one of the games that, was nominated for this.
All right, okay.
Sometimes you play a game and you don't expect to like it.
Mm-hmm.
You know, sometimes you pick up a game and you think, I'm going to play this for a little bit, but I know I'm not going to get into it. Right. And that's okay. Mm-hmm. But, I just want to give it a shot. And then sometimes you do that and you end up loving it. Right. And it becomes one of your favorite games you played that year.
Mm-hmm.
And this is an award for one of those games.
All right.
Our nominees, Assassin's Creed Mirage, Age of Wonders 4. Now here's the thing. I put this on here. I'm starting to doubt that this came out this year. Shredder's Revenge? Was that this year? Or was that last year?
No, that was last year. Keep it.
Okay. What?
Who said it has to be this year?
Well, that's true. That's true. I'll keep it in there. And then Killer Frequency.
Yep.
I did not think I'd like any of those games. I started playing them. I ended up loving all of them. Assassin's Creed Mirage was pretty surprising for me because I've had a very less than favorable opinion on the latest Assassin's Creed games.
Mm-hmm.
So playing Mirage and actually having fun was cool to me.
Yeah.
Playing Age of Wonders 4 was cool. I've never played an Age of Wonders game, but it's like Civilization, but with like more fantasy.
Yeah.
So, you got goblins and ghouls and such. And then Shredder's Revenge, I'll keep it on there anyways. I didn't think I'd like that game at all because I usually hate beat 'em up games, but playing it with a person was really fun.
Yep, that game is so fun with like a great couch co-op.
Oh yeah, and then Killer Frequency. I've never been a huge fan of specifically playing horror games, but I absolutely loved Killer Frequency, and for that, Killer Frequency takes it for me. That was I think that might be one of my favorite games I've played this entire year. Yeah. Have you played it yet?
I haven't. I've kind of had my eye on it for a while, but just haven't gotten to.
Yeah, if it goes on sale, I recommend.
Yeah.
It's definitely worth picking up.
Huh. It's funny. The nice little segue from my award to your award, like like we planned it in the meeting.
Just like we planned it in the board meeting. Yeah.
Now, Caleb, I want to ask you.
Yeah.
We've talked about it a little bit, but I don't know. I want to ask you about games from 2023 that you didn't play, but you want to.
Yeah, a big one for me is Dredge still.
Mm-hmm.
I need to play that. I have it. I just need to commit and give it a go. There's some other stuff from 2023 I didn't really play too much. I played Assassin's Creed Mirage. I was just talking about it. I really liked it and everything. But there was other stuff coming around it where I ended up putting it down, and I'm yet to pick it back up. So that's a game that kind of fits into that category of I want to spend more time with it.
Right.
But yeah, I mean, I have a whole list of games that I want to get to eventually, but for the most part, those are like the big ones that I want to get to. What about you? What have you?
So 2 of them really stick out. Dredge was on this list until I picked it up, and I've really enjoyed it.
Yep.
So the other 2, one of them is Star Wars Jedi Survivor.
Oh, such a good game.
I'm really holding out for that to come to EA Play because that's EA Play is included with Game Pass.
Yep.
So I'm like, if I buy it now for $35, in 2 months it's going to be on Game Pass, and like I've got plenty of games to play before then.
Yep.
So I'm holding out on that one, but I'm excited for when it comes around. The other one is Sea of Stars. I don't know if you know about this one.
I've heard of this. Yeah.
Yeah, it's kind of Chrono Trigger inspired RPG. It gets compared a little bit to Chained Echoes, which was a game I played a lot of this year and really liked.
Yep.
So I'm really it's on Game Pass. It's one that I will hopefully play in the near future, but I needed some time because it came out right around the same time as I was finishing Chained Echoes. And long JRPGs do not, for me personally, do not lend themselves to being played back to back. So I really needed some space between when I beat Chained Echoes and when I wanted to play my next like JRPG.
Yeah.
So I think I'm coming around on that window to finally jump into Sea of Stars.
You know, I feel like we should mention it just in case it comes through. We do have a special guest joining us today in this episode.
It's my upstairs neighbor dog.
It's a neighbor's dog.
Yep.
Just in case it comes through, we'll mention it.
Separation anxiety is a tough thing for anyone, but especially for a pet.
Little dogs.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Yeah, it's agonizing.
Yeah.
To be, especially during a work day.
Yeah.
Because you're like, I just want to write this email.
Yep.
And not listen to this dog bark.
That's true. That is true.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But anyway.
Yeah.
Caleb.
Yeah.
A Giuseppe, if you will.
A Giuseppe?
If you'd be so kind.
I'll think about it.
Okay.
We'll take 5 minutes. We'll come back.
Uh-huh.
So
stay tuned.
So this next game award is for a game that really just didn't live up to what it should have been. A game that might have flopped, but definitely had a large number of people questioning why they bought it in the first place. You know,
Todd's backstage right now, just getting warmed up, ready to come out and give the acceptance speech.
Let's take a look at these fucks, Greg. Let's take a look at them. So, nominees for my award, which this is the only award I'm realizing I didn't title. We'll call it the flopper, the big flopper.
Okay.
Greg, my nominees for the big flopper: Starfield, Atomic Heart, Payday 3, and Forspoken. Now, we all know Starfield. We all know that that's an issue, right? We don't have to talk about that. Atomic Heart, we all kind of know about that too. But I don't think anybody's talking about Payday 3. And I think people should be.
I didn't know it flopped that bad.
So it didn't necessarily. I think it's selling okay right now. It flopped for me personally. It is. They did a funny thing where it is an entirely online game. It's a live service game. You need internet to play it.
Yeah.
No matter what. Even if you're playing with bots, you need internet. I just hate that. That's just stupid to me. And it takes away from, in the original Payday games, you can do solo heists and have bots for companions, and it was still fun. And Payday 3 is really exciting because they added a bunch of new stuff, but they only have a couple maps, like very few right now. I had the exact number, and then now I don't have it anymore. But they have very few new maps, and it's a completely online game, and that bothers me.
Mm-hmm.
Still, Payday did not outshoot Starfield for just being a disappointment.
No.
I have never been so sad. And you know what especially makes me sad? I bought an SSD for my PC just so I could play Starfield. Just so I could play Starfield. Plug that shit in, get it working. I've probably played 20 hours of Starfield total. That's probably it.
I think you've doubled me, though.
Well, see, that's the thing. I had a good run where I was really liking it. And then the story got stupid.
Yeah.
I did not like it. And I'm sure you know now, and like, it's not too much of a spoiler to say, I think, but apparently a large portion of the game comes from replaying it a bunch, which I don't want to do that. Why would
No,
I do that?
right.
I want to have one save with one character where I go do things. I don't want to do a bunch of new game plus shit to see different changes and stuff.
Right.
So the big flopper, Starfield. Todd can come out and give a speech now, I think.
Yep, you can.
Yeah.
You know what's funny? All the jokes we made
Yeah.
about people being like, "Don't do this to me again, Todd."
So fucking true.
He did it to him again.
And you know what's funny? Todd would come out and make a speech, and his speech would just be, "Well, you just got to play it. You just got to like it.
Just
You'll
gotta
like
play
it. You just gotta try it again. I don't think you're playing with the right mindset." Did you ever see the email they put out? The specific one where they said, like, well, when NASA went to space, they didn't have a bunch of stuff on planets. It was empty. Like, yeah, of course the planets are empty.
Well, you didn't call your game NASA Simulator.
Well, and that's the thing. Of course, a NASA-themed game could be like that, and that would be something. But we're looking at a game where I want to feel like a space pirate.
Right.
You have a whole skill tree called like Scoundrel or some shit, where it's pretty much Han Solo. They're saying, hey, you could play Han Solo right now, be a good pilot, use blaster pistols. You could do all of that, but we're not going to give you anything fun to do in space. So your scoundrelness stops at sitting in your ship board.
Yeah, it was a disappointment.
Disappointment.
Some would say it was a flopper.
It was a big flopper.
Yeah.
And what's with the menus, the endless menus to get to everything?
Yeah, too many menus.
You can't fly from point A to point B.
Yeah, I'm not
Just
playing
menus.
a computer RPG.
I know. Yeah.
Don't give me those menus. I'm not playing a real-time simulator
Yeah.
strategy game.
I mean, and it's funny because like even No Man's Sky did that. They allowed you to go from planet to planet, but the cool thing with No Man's Sky is the cool
There are some sort of four-wheeled.
Those are carts.
They
Those
look,
are carts.
Oh, yeah, those are carts.
Those are
Okay,
Mario
okay.
Karts right
Yep,
there.
Yep.
Going down the street in our
Mhm.
virtual Japan video that we just put on for background.
Yeah.
No, the cool thing about No Man's Sky is they did the point A to point B travel well. I
Mhm.
think the like it can be a little boring sometimes when you have to wait actual minutes to get to a planet, but I don't
They
know.
at least give you hyperspeed, too.
Well, and they do, yeah. And it
yeah.
feels real still, and it feels good. It feels like you're kind of in a better simulation. But with Starfield, it's so many menus. Like, there's not a single person alive who has played Fallout or Skyrim and thought, I need more menus in this game.
Mhm.
You know what I mean? And that's exactly what they did.
Well, that's the thing is like even those games get a little bit menu heavy.
Oh, yeah.
Like not to the point of being like too obnoxious, I don't think. But like there are menus in those games.
Well, I mean, Fallout don't get me wrong, Fallout 4 is one of my favorite games ever made. The menu is stupid. When I
Yeah.
push tab or circle or whatever button to bring up the Pip-Boy, and I wait for the arm animation to come up, and then I have to scroll through bumpers of menus, that gets annoying.
Yeah.
Skyrim did it okay with their circle menu or whatever. You know, it comes up fast, and you
Yeah,
can get to
yeah.
everything fast. Then you have Starfield, where there's even like I don't know about you, maybe it could have just been my PC being slow, I guess, but I felt like every time I pushed the menu button, there was wait time to get to the menu. Not a lot, just like, seconds, probably less than seconds, but still, it just felt like there was a stutter every time I hit a menu button.
Right.
And to have to do that to do anything in the game just feels like a cop-out.
Here's how, and this is not, I guess, solely Bethesda's fault.
Yeah.
They don't make the like quick, like the weapon switch animation, or not animation, but the like hotkeys or whatever you want to call them, so
Right.
you could quick switch weapons.
Yeah.
They don't make that very clear to me in the beginning. I spent
No.
if I needed to change weapons, I went into a menu, changed the weapon, came out.
Yeah.
Like their Fallout for sure has like the hot swap menu.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Ugh, yeah, it was a mess.
Yeah. A
Yeah.
big flopper indeed.
Big flopper.
Yeah.
Now, Caleb,
Greg, give us an award.
let me turn this not 180 degrees, but
Okay.
let me give you a little bit of a different perspective.
Okay.
I want to give the award for the best Starfield of 2025.
Oh my God. There's only one of them.
No Man's Sky.
No Man's Sky. Really accomplished everything Todd said he wanted to do.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, the next award here is the innovative game concept of the year.
Okay.
This is for a game that I feel like did something that felt fresh. It wasn't an RPG. It wasn't a walking, running, shooting game. It wasn't a first-person shooter, and it was an action-adventure. It wasn't a platformer.
This ain't your dad's Call of Duty
This
shooter,
ain't
man.
your pa's Call of Duty.
Yeah.
Call of Duty World at War. So our nominees are Hi-Fi Rush
Yep.
for the timing-based
Yeah.
game. Dredge for what we've already described it being a kind of fishing loop.
Yep.
Dave the Diver for also being fishing related but different.
Yep.
And Pizza Tower. I don't know if you've Pizza Tower.
I did
has
see
been
Pizza Tower. Yep.
quite the hit.
Yep.
But the winner, there can be only one.
Yeah.
And I have to give this award to Dredge.
Of course.
To me, we've seen rhythm action games before.
Yeah.
Pizza Tower is just a unique spin on a platformer, I feel like.
Yep.
Dave the Diver, pretty unique, but I think Dredge pulls it out with being just like really leaning into the fishing mechanic and then also like the spooky time stuff.
Yeah.
I just feel
get
like that innovation is just takes the cake.
Oh yeah.
It's the topper, the cake topper.
Yeah, absolutely.
On top of the cake.
Yes. Goes right on top, yeah.
Right on top of the cake.
Right on top, yeah.
Now, Caleb.
Yeah.
I haven't been planning this.
Okay.
But I have to ask.
Yeah.
Rate my tree.
Rate your tree. Okay. So here's the thing. I'm taking in a lot of different factors on this rating.
Yep.
A big thing for me
He's
is
leaned forward.
I have leaned forward. I have to really examine. Girth matters. Girth matters. The girth of the tree matters. The girth of the branches. Because you have to know, do they support ornaments well?
Mm-hmm.
This is like when you take your dog to a dog show. They make him a long boy.
They hold the tail.
They hold the tail, yeah.
Okay. Mm-hmm.
Just touch the tree a little bit.
He's touching the tree.
All right. I'm gonna say some things.
Mm-hmm.
I might upset you, but you've asked me to do this, Greg. Here we go.
Okay.
Your branches, they're sturdy, but they're not as sturdy as one would hope.
Okay.
I would be a little scared to put some heavy ornaments on that.
Mm-hmm.
Now, I can't help but notice there's also no good smells coming from it. And in fact, you lit a candle on the other side of the room. So I'm all confused about where I should be smelling the Christmas tree.
Don't take points away from the tree for my mistake. The tree can't control what I do.
Now, I will say though, one of the saving things about your tree, I like the top on it. It looks like it's really made for a nice topper.
An oversized glitter star.
Nice
Red
topper, though.
glitter star.
Yeah, but you know what though? That's a special thing. You know, not a lot of little trees have a good top for sloppy toppy ornaments.
There, I knew it was coming. I saw it coming. I couldn't stop it.
So, Greg, overall, on a scale from 1 to 10, oh man,
really think about it.
I'm really thinking here. Scale of 1 to 10, I gotta say, probably at least like a solid, probably a solid schnitzel. Honestly,
He's done it.
yeah,
He's done it. He's ranked the tree. It was an honest ranking. That's all I asked for.
It was fair. It was fair.
Yep. Now,
Just, yeah.
I would like to get to the big one.
Oh, let's do it.
It's time.
Let's do it.
For the Greggies Game of the Year.
Oh, here we go.
That I played.
Yep. I'm in.
It's only games that I've played.
Yep.
I don't want to don't offend anyone that is going to get mad because I didn't play a game.
Yeah.
But the nominees.
Yep.
Super Mario Wonder. Resident Evil 4 Remake. Legend of Zelda Tears of the Kingdom. Cocoon. Hi-Fi Rush. Dead Cells Return to Castlevania. And Like a Dragon Gaiden, the man who erased his name.
Yeah.
Now, Caleb, the winner of this award is The Legend of Zelda: Tears of the Kingdom.
I'm glad.
Who could have seen that coming?
Yeah.
But wait.
Oh.
There's more.
Whoa.
I want to also award a Game of the Year, in parentheses, that isn't Legend of Zelda: Tears of the Kingdom. Because I feel like that was the obvious one.
Okay.
Everyone's Game of the Year was either Tears of the Kingdom or it was Baldur's Gate 3.
That's very fair.
So
yeah.
we need to say, well, okay, of course those are.
Right.
But what about next? What was the second game? What was the game under that was also worthy in a year where we didn't have two behemoths of game design?
Yep.
What would the Game of the Year have been?
Yep.
So for my award for the Game of the Year that isn't The Legend of Zelda: Tears of the Kingdom, Super Mario Wonder.
It's a good choice.
Congratulations.
Good choice. Round of applause
to
for
Nintendo.
Funkiest dad.
Bringing it back around. Yeah, very good game. We've talked about it at some length in this episode. If you have someone to play couch co-op with, just a great experience.
Yeah.
So fun. Even probably fun on your own. That's how good they've made this platforming Mario game.
It's interesting. I almost yawned.
Yeah, no worries.
I do have to pick that game up and give it a good try sometime. I need to. I miss playing Mario, you know?
Mm-hmm.
It's the good old days.
It's a good one to jump into. I would recommend. And also, of course, Tears of the Kingdom. I feel like I don't feel like much needs to be said about that game, though.
Yeah.
You know, I just don't think I don't think many people, or I don't think much has been left unsaid about that game.
Yeah.
So,
yeah, Greg, I'll give you my big one.
Okay.
All right, here we go.
Yep.
This is the Giuseppe Game of the Year.
Wow.
And again, I completely agree. If I had to pick one, I feel like my obvious choice would be Baldur's Gate.
Of course.
I've spent so many fucking hours on that game, and I'm still not done with it. I still want to go back and play it more. And now there's more than ever. It's been getting mod support now for better races and things from D&D that weren't included.
Mm-hmm.
So that's really exciting to me too. So Baldur's Gate is my easy pick, but if I'm picking a smaller game, one that isn't up there, I know it's kind of a weird pick. I think I'm seriously gonna have to go with Killer Frequency.
Wow.
I enjoyed it a lot. It was probably one of my favorite games. Not only I've played this year, but I've played in like the past couple years.
Mm-hmm.
And it was a very fun experience. It's that perfect level of spookiness where it's still a horror game, but you don't have to feel like you're gonna cry yourself to sleep after playing it.
Right.
It's a good level of 99% of the horror comes from atmospheric stuff rather than actual jump scares or anything. In fact, there was only one jump scare in the entire game, maybe two.
Mm-hmm.
And 99% of the game was just atmospheric spooky stuff,
Right.
noises, sounds, lighting, stuff like that. And then the main gameplay loop being a radio DJ. That's like my fucking dream job.
Yeah, same.
So it's a really good time. I highly recommend it, and I'm incredibly glad I played it this year. So that gets my Giuseppe.
That's good. I'm glad we both have kind of a secondary pick because I do feel like we've covered the spectrum of the like two of course.
Yeah.
Baldur's Gate 3, Tears of the Kingdom, but let's talk about another game too.
Right. Yeah. Well, and I'm glad that we both picked games that were lesser than well, I shouldn't say lesser, but I mean like not as big as those two. You know what I mean? Like regardless, because I feel like it would even be easy to say like, oh well, like the Cyberpunk DLC is my favorite, and like I think that's cool and all, but like there's smaller games that are worth playing, like the new Mario game. Dredge, yeah, Killer Frequency, all of these, yeah.
I mean, even I stumbled on Hi-Fi Rush at a certain point where I just couldn't get back into it.
Yeah.
I still think that's a great game worth playing.
Oh, yeah.
Definitely. That was probably, for me, the shock of the year because it came out just out of nowhere.
That's fair.
So, yeah, just like even it was a great year for video games. It was
a pretty good year, yeah.
I mean, just for straight release-wise, like we were never without releases.
Oh yeah. Well, and I really want to I would love to say like the game that gets my pick for game of the year or something would be like Hogwarts Legacy or something.
Right.
But like, cause that didn't get any game awards at the actual game.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't even think I can give it any because there's reasons it didn't get awards. You know what I mean? And
Right.
one of my favorite comments I've seen about that game is that it's not like people love it because it's an amazing RPG. People love it because it's the first Harry Potter RPG.
Right.
But without the Harry Potter stuff attached to it, it's a pretty bare bones game.
Right.
And even though I loved the game and beat it and beat 90% of the side stuff, I still agree with that. It's definitely pretty bare bones, but a good game nonetheless.
Right.
You know.
The other game that was up there until Super Mario Wonder really took the second place mantle for me.
Yep.
Was Resident Evil 4 Remake was probably my favorite game that came out this year.
Yeah. I mean, it looked amazing.
Yeah, looked great.
Yeah.
I felt. I mean, I never really got through the original. I never really played much of the original.
Yeah.
But I felt like I got to experience the original in an updated format in a way. Like I don't feel like from learning what I know about the other game, the original, I don't feel like I'm missing anything by playing the remake. I feel like it really did a good job recreating that experience.
Well, and it's done a wonder for people like me who played the original, but if I ever wanted to play it, I don't think I could go back to it because it's so dated and the controls are dated. So any kind of remake or remaster like this does wonders for that issue,
And the game that that I was hoping would do the same that kind of let me down, the Metroid Prime remaster.
Really?
Just it didn't feel like it really modernized stuff enough. I don't want to go too hard on that. It might just be that I don't really love the mechanics of Metroid.
Yeah, I think my personal preference anyways, I've never found a first-person shooter game to be comfortable on Switch. No matter what it is, it just doesn't feel right to me. There's something weird about it. But that's 100% a personal issue, not a game issue. But I do plan on picking it up at some time, though. Because I did play the original Prime on GameCube and loved it.
Yeah, I really wanted to get into that, but there's just there's a difficulty in those games that I'm just too much of a baby for.
Yeah. That was like the earliest time of Nintendo throwing you shit and not explaining what anything is.
Right.
And like it's a confusing game. I remember playing it as a kid and never knowing what to do. And when I would stumble onto the right thing, I always felt like it was on accident because there's so much in the game and I don't feel like any of it's explained well.
Right. Yeah. Well, Caleb, I don't know about you, but I feel like we've done quite the job here, given our end of the year extravaganza.
I feel like we've done a good service for our people.
What I need now is a nice greasy pub burger.
Nice greasy pub burger, yeah.
So, thanks for joining us, everyone. It's been fun. It's been fun to get back at it for a little episode.
Yeah.
Who knows when the next one will be?
Yeah, we'll try to make more.
The beginning of the year spectacular.
The beginning, yeah.
We only do episodes based on when we feel a changing in the year.
Right.
All right, now it's the spring solstice spectacular.
The seasonal depression special.
That's this one. That's this one.
All right, guys.
All right. Well, it's been fun. I don't know. I mean, you can follow us on Instagram and whatnot.
Follow us on our stuff.
Yeah. Follow us on Spotify so the next episode pops out.
Yeah, do that too.
Caleb, thanks for coming over.
Greg, thanks
Chatting
for
video games.
Thanks for coming over.
I did.
To your own place.
I did.
Thanks for coming over.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah.
Until next time.
Until next time.
Enjoy some video games.
Enjoy life.
Enjoy love. Goodbye.
Bye.